State, you guys had a scrimmage this weekend. Dante Strickland, Davion Pearson, some others. Sort of just bangs up from the scrimmage, hold them out, or anything more serious?
You know, just holding them out. Guys are banged up. It was a good scrimmage. It was physical. I think, no doubt, I thought the defense got the best of the offense. But we're okay. Everybody will be all right for the season.
How was this? I mean, otherwise, more on the scrimmage.
Very good. Defense was very good. Made a lot of plays. We had some good plays. We scored some touchdowns on offense, but I thought it was dominated by the defense mostly.
I asked you last week about adjusting to, yes, Sean's gone, but how has Eric kind of maybe filled that role a little bit at quarterback for what he's had to do stepping into this year?
You know, Eric, when being a third-year quarterback in this offense, you're almost like a graduate assistant coach on the field. So he's done a nice job of relating to receivers, going into meetings, telling them exactly what he needs, what he doesn't need. The coaches are doing the same thing, but when you hear it from one of your peers, you know how important it is, and it kind of puts an urgency to get things done.
I'm sure you've seen a lot of the reporting in Maryland, the player who died there of heat stroke, and some of the cultural things. I'm curious, as you read that, how extreme do you think that is in the college football community, and what kind of culture do you try and instill with Edinger?
I don't know about how extreme it is everywhere else because I only know how we do it here. But when it comes to
other programs in the past too.
Well, yes, but I don't want to talk about those. I want to talk about mine. The big thing about our program is all that stuff is controlled by the medical people. We don't have workouts without medical people. If they tell someone that they can't go, they can't go. It's not a coach's decision. It's not a strength coach's decision. It's a medical decision.
Have you tried to change over the last maybe 5-6 years? Have you changed your coaching style with not only medical-wise with guys on the field, but what you're seeing off the field as well, such as what's going on with Urban and stuff of that nature?
Yeah, I made a change a long time ago. I just felt like the language was a little rough for me, and I just thought that if you have enough command over the King's language, you should be able to find enough words in the dictionary to be able to describe things without using so much profanity. Now, there's profanity at practices. You can't get around it, but I choose not to use it.
Was there an incident that prompted that?
No, it's just a change of heart.
You think it's more effective not to be, I don't know, overbearing in that regard?
I don't know if it's overbearing. Again, you can be demanding. It's just the type of words that you use in being demanding.
Coach, how difficult is it to watch over all of the program? Yes, it's your job as a head coach to be that leader and to be, I'm looking at an Urban Meyer situation, what went on there. Can you, realistically look over every part of your program and know what's going on?
I think the big thing is you're responsible for it, so you can't sidestep that responsibility. You're responsible for all the stuff.
Dan Woken of USA Today wrote an interesting column about how obviously college football teams are very secretive or less revealing with their information for competitive advantage, and that maybe prevents the amount of checks and balances that a media can provide. And I understand there are two sides to this and why coaching staff may not want more access, but do you feel there are an appropriate amount of checks involved to ensure guys stay healthy and avoid situations like the player dying, even Coda at Texas A&M having a heat stroke scare?
When you say improper balances, I don't know what you mean by that, and I'm being honest with you. We have balances. The balances are there so you won't be improper. You should welcome the balance.
Mm-hmm. So how do you think those? I mean, obviously there's only 2 incidences, but is it not alarming that something like that can happen under the current kind of guidelines of the system that's in place?
Again, it hasn't happened here, and I can only talk about what we do in our program. I don't want to talk about someone else's.
Have you done anything? After what happened with Coda and the player at Maryland, to work on best practices for heat situations or ensure that the medical staff is ready for that type of stuff?
Once again, all that stuff's tied into the medical people. We all work as a team, and we make sure that we have checks and balances.
Coach, how important is the time period between scrimmage 1 and 2 and teaching the things that you need to teach before you see them out there the second time?
1 and 2 is really important, I think, from the mental part of it. You come out number 1, everybody's fired up and they're fresh, and then they get their first owie, and then they know they can see the season around the corner, and some guys want to take shortcuts, and the mental part of it is not taking that shortcut. It's still cutting the grass in a checker square and making sure you hit every line so it looks like right when you're done, and you don't want to skip the process. So the process is to finish hard during that second week and work through that second scrimmage. And I think that toughness and working through it is something that carries you on throughout the season. So it's very important not to tap out for 3 to 4 days and then try to come back in at the tail end of camp, because that normally that stuff kind of happens in the season too, and that's what you don't want to have in your season, where it's 1 minute you're in and 1 minute you're out based off of your mental toughness.
With that said, do you like what you've seen since the first scrimmage?
I think we're about, on a scale of 100, we're about 75. You know, we're kind of where we should be. I've seen better, I've seen worse. We're a little banged up right now, but we need to get over it and we need to keep pushing.
Is there a guy or two?
See out of the second scrimmage. I know you said the defense got the edge in the first one. What are you trying to see out of the second one? Are you trying to see that 100%?
Well, the big thing on the second one is you want to come out of it completely healthy, because you're going into game mold after that. But we'll go ones versus twos versus the ones, and what it does is give somebody in the second group, if they're going to make their final push to be a starter, they're going to have to go against the best personnel to do it. So the first scrimmage is ones versus ones, twos versus twos. Second scrimmage is ones versus twos, twos versus ones.
Is there anybody who you think really improved their standing, 1 or 2 guys in that first scrimmage?
No, it's going to take a combination of stuff to be consistent. That was an occasional, but they really got a chance to make a move now if they can back it up with another second strong scrimmage.
I know you said you had a change of heart about some of the earlier stuff we were talking about. When was that?
It's just one of those things that happened, you know. It's just one of those things that happened.
Give me a sense of place if you can, like where you were.
No, I'm going to pass on it.
Any update on the wide receiver competition? I know it's sort of been in flux throughout camp. Sort of who's going to maybe step away as clear number one.
Not yet.
Separated from the pack.
No, the competition is still going on. I think we've got some veteran guys that are definitely up at the top, but we want to see if we've got some talented freshmen and see if they can make a move. Some guys did some stuff in the first scrimmage. They're going to have to back it up with a second scrimmage.
Anybody in particular? Hendricks, Keeley?
A lot of those good freshmen. A lot of those freshmen.
Time for 2 more questions.
When you enter year 3, where should your offense be, and are they there yet at this point?
I don't know. Like I said, I've never been through a year 3. We're a little bit behind in the throwing game, but I think we're a little bit ahead in the run game.
Coach, what do you want to see from each guy, no matter how big or small their role is, as far as supporting each other and doing what's best for the team?
That's a fantastic question. It comes to the family unit. Everybody has a role on this team, whether your role is to start the first game or whether your role is to start the 9th, 10th, and 11th game. Everybody has a role, and you never know when you're going to be called upon to step up, and it's your turn. And they have to go about their job every single day like they're a starter, even though they're not. And that's the key to having a good football team.
Thanks very much, Coach.
Thank you, guys.